Hello, everyone. If we haven't met yet, I'm Kayla, and I'm the creator here behind My Well Oiled Life. I am jumping on today to talk to you guys about oil resources. So, I get questions almost daily from those of you that maybe recently bought a starter kit or you just got some new oils into your collection and you're kind of wondering, what does this oil do? Why did I buy it? How do I use it? So, I want to go over the resources that you should be looking for when you get a starter kit and if you have one, so that you can learn how to use your oils. There's a ton of amazing oil resources out there, and I want to make sure that you guys know about them. So, first and foremost, when you get started with oils with doTERRA, the really awesome part is that you start with somebody called a wellness advocate, which is actually what I am. And they are the person that will guide you and be your support person in your oil usage. So, when you are getting started, make sure that you're asking the person what kind of education and resources you can expect, especially if you're really new to oil usage and you really want somebody to be able to guide you. So if you recently got a starter kit, reach out to the person that got you started. They are the ones that really should be walking you through how to use your kit, answering your questions, telling you, where you can learn more. So for example, when someone gets started with me, I plug them into my online community. So we have a bunch of pre-recorded classes and learning modules and recipes and things like that so that you can really open your oil kit and know what to do with it. So it's really important that you ask what kind of resources are available to you, especially if you're feeling nervous about, jumping into oils. Now, you also can get some resources in your home that will help you, when it's 3 a.m. and something's happening for your body or your kids, and you want to be able to look up what oil you should use. So I'm going to go over my favorite resource books with you guys and where you can get them, because I highly encourage you to at least have one resource book around, because there's going to be things that come up and it's always nice to be able to look them up. I still look stuff up in my book weekly, if not daily. I know oils pretty well, but it's kind of an ever-learning process. There's so much to learn. There's new oils that come out every year. There's new combos to try. There's new health concerns that come up that I don't always know what to use which oil for. So the first one that I want to make sure you guys know about is the Essential Life book. This is from oillife.com. You can actually use my code. It's WOLKM5, and you can get $5 off this book. But this would be my number one recommendation for you to have in your home. And the reason for that is it's very user-friendly. They also have an app. So if you prefer something on a phone, you can purchase their app. I think it's $5 for the year. Super cheap, super amazing app. And basically what this book goes over is every single oil, how to use it, has different recipes. It goes by body system. So if you're having heart issues, you can look under cardiovascular. Kids and children are in here. The brain, your mood, skin, everything is in here. Plus it has recipes and just anything and everything you would want to know. So you can look up, hey, my kid has a fever. What should I do? It's all going to be in this book. And it's beautiful and it's super user-friendly, gorgeous, gorgeous book. So this is actually how I started learning about oils. And this is how I continue learning about oils, is digging into books like this. So this is my number one recommendation, is this book, The Essential Life book. The second book that I use a lot is called Advanced Oil Magic. And this is from, I believe it's just from oilmagic.com. They kind of just sell it on their own. The reason why I really love this book is that it has oil protocols in it. And I'm all about the oil protocols. You guys can tell that from my page. I love okay, this is what I have going on. What can I diffuse? What can I put in my body? What can I put on my body that will help? And these are really, really great protocols. So they basically have different health concerns, like for a headache, and it gives you different ideas of what you can apply and what you can use internally. So this is another book that I love. It's a little bit more advanced. So if you're a brand new oil user, you really want to make sure you have that Essential Life book. If you've been using oils a lot longer and you want something a little bit more advanced, then I would go for the Advanced Oil Magic book. I do really love this book. And then there's a few other books I want to tell you guys about because I love them. They're some of my favorites. And I often get asked, how do you know so much about oils? Just from learning and using them and trying them out and seeing what my body responds to and what my kids respond to. A lot of it has been trial and error with myself and my family. These oils, doTERRA oils, are very, very safe, especially when you're using them with some common sense. So you're diluting them and you can play with them a little bit, which is kind of nice without harming your body. You know, you're supporting your body. Even if what you put on it doesn't really work for what you need it to, it's still giving your body support in another way. So here's some other ways that I've learned more in-depth kind of oil use ideas. So if you're pregnant, if you're thinking of becoming pregnant, if you have any sort of fertility issues, if you have, babies coming, that kind of thing, this is my top book. It's called Essential Oils for Pregnancy, Birth, and Babies. It's by licensed midwife Stephanie Fritz, and it will break down everything that you need to know when you're pregnant. Every single thing. I bought this with my first daughter, so this is an older edition, and I seriously read the entire thing front to back with just a couple of days, and this is what I used when I was pregnant. Anytime something would come up, I would look it up in this book. I would try what she suggested. I would mix things up a little bit, find what works for me. So if you have anybody in your life that's expecting or you would like to be, this is where I would start. doTERRA oils are very safe to use in pregnancy in small diluted amounts, and they make pregnancy a lot easier for sure, because pregnancy, if you're me, is no fun. So I really appreciated having that book to be able to rely on. If you are looking to use oils with your pets, I only have 2 cats. My mother-in-law has the dog that I show off a lot, and we do use oils with him. I don't really use oils with my cats, obviously. I do diffuse around my cats. Totally safe to diffuse doTERRA oils around your cats as long as they can leave the room if they don't prefer a certain smell. There's certain oils my cats could care less about, and there's other oils like Deep Blue they hate the smell of. They'll just leave the room. But there is a book called Spoil Your Pet. You can get this from this one and the pregnancy book. I got these both from oillife.com. That's where I tend to get most of my books. They have a great selection. And again, you can use that code that I mentioned to get $5 off if you'd like. But the Spoil Your Pet book is really great in breaking down what to use for your animals. For different things, whether it's fleas, whether it's constipation, whether it's anxiety, whatever it is, it's going to tell you what to use, how to use it, and how to do it safely, because you definitely want to dilute when you're using on your pets. They're very tiny. They don't need a lot. So Spoil Your Pet is a great book if you have pets in your home and you're looking to use natural solutions with them. That would be my number 1 suggestion. And then another book I use a lot, it's called Emotions and Essential Oils. I did get this one from Oil Life as well. There actually is a newer edition, but this book fascinates me. So what it does is it goes over every single oil and it tells you the emotional aspect behind it. And what I find fascinating about that is sometimes I reach for oils and I have no idea why I'm drawn to that oil or why suddenly that oil is really calming to me. And you can look it up, and it's really interesting because you will tend to pick oils that on an emotional level your body actually really needs. And so I'll look it up and I'll see that, hey, that's the oil of protection, and I've been feeling really unsafe lately, maybe in this relationship or something going on in my life. And it's amazing how your body just knows to pick the right oil. It's also great if you're wanting to make blends for different feelings. Maybe if you have a child that gets really angry and you're wanting to pick out oils that are good for feeling more at ease and more stable and things like that, it's going to go over every single oil and its different emotional meaning. And then in the back, it also goes through, if you're feeling manipulated, what oils should you use? If you're feeling out of control. And it's really interesting. And it tells you, what kind of positive properties different oils can bring out in your body and in your emotions. And so I just find this book really interesting. And I love to, read it over when I'm looking, especially when I'm looking to create blends for different things. Those were all my books falling on the floor. So last book that I love, it's called Symphony of the Cells. This is by Boyd Truman. He's one of the top leaders in doTERRA, brilliant individual. And so what he did is he developed these more advanced protocols for more intensive issues. And so it's basically a protocol that you do on your spine, and it's different layering of different oils for different things. So there's a protocol for infectious disease, there's a hormone balance protocol, digestive protocol, and it's really just more in-depth stuff for different issues that are maybe more chronic in your life that are coming up, or maybe just something that you really want to address quickly. So Symphony of the Cells is just a really great book, also from oillife.com, that goes over some more advanced protocols. These are not protocols that I tend to use every day, but I know there are people that do. But these are things where, there's an inflammation protocol, and we might use that a couple times a week if you're dealing with chronic inflammation and things like that. So there are a ton of amazing books out there. Those are just my favorites. I know there's a ton of other books out there that maybe I haven't read yet, or just didn't resonate with me in the same way. But those are definitely my favorite resources, and I highly recommend having a couple of them in your home for when things come up. Every year different editions come out when new oils get added. So if you have an older edition, you still have somewhere to start. The only difference is going to be that new oils have been added to the later editions. So definitely get yourself a resource book so that you can use your oils. Don't let them sit on the shelf, because they do amazing things and you really want to make sure you give them a shot. The other thing is that if you go on doTERRA.com and you click over Our Advocates, there's a ton of stuff in there. And I know that you may not, if you're a wholesale customer and you're not selling the product, you may not be aware of this, and that's why I'm mentioning it. It is not just for people selling oils. Go on there because you have access to the doTERRA blog, both the science blog, which talks about the science behind the oils and different research studies that they've recently done. doTERRA relies heavily on research and science, and so there's a ton of really cool, interesting stuff on there. Plus, there is the blog, which is like a product blog and a DIY blog. So many good recipes to make with your oils. There is a Discover Solution part, which actually has different body systems like sleep and different ones like that you can go and look up different solutions so that you can kind of see what oils might address something like that. There's a ton of education on there that a lot of people don't know is on there, so definitely go explore, especially if you're one of those that's been reaching out to me saying, that maybe whoever signed you up isn't very involved, or you can't get a hold of them and you're feeling kind of lost. That's a really good spot to go and explore, because there's so much free education on there that anyone can access. It doesn't matter whose team you're on. And so you can get maybe some of what you're looking for, get some of your questions answered and things like that. So those are my favorite resources. Those are the things that I wanted to make sure you guys knew about, so that you can use your oils. Definitely use your oils. And I post here every single day, normally twice a day, and try to give you guys tangible tips on how to use oils or how to make a blend or different things like that. So feel free to scroll through, go through my IGTV. There's a ton of videos, probably some that repeat themselves because the topics come up a lot. but it'll give you somewhere to start, and it'll give you some things to start utilizing. And again, I post stuff on here every day, so take advantage of that and try some of the stuff out that I suggest if it's something that you're struggling with, so that you can figure out what works for your body, what you prefer, and use your oils. Don't have oils that sit on the shelf. Please, please, please. Get a resource book, crack it open. Try to find one new way to use your oils a day. Pick your top 3 health concerns and write down the different oils you can use for each one, and just incorporate those. If it seems overwhelming, just pick those top 3 things. Maybe that's sleep, anxiety, and digestion. And just go through which, 2 or 3 oils you can use for each one, and find a way to use them in the diffuser, on your body, or internally if you prefer. And do that every single day until you develop a habit, which takes around 21 days to develop that habit. And then before you know it, you'll be using oils for everything. You'll just find yourself turning to them, knowing what different ones do. You just have to take that initial jump of trying them out. And before you know it, it becomes a habit, and it becomes one of your favorite habits, if you're me at least. So I hope that was helpful. I just wanted to be able to give you guys some tangible resources to go out and utilize, because I have been getting a lot of questions from those of you that maybe just signed up and are wondering what to do with your starter kit. And again, definitely reach out to the person that helped you get that starter kit and let them walk you through it, because that's really, they should be guiding you and helping you. And I'm sure they want to see you use those oils as well. So you guys have a great day, and I will talk to you again soon.